Beetrooper counter trap, and then you'll have like Papillion to summon as a monster negate, Beetrooper Flying Sting as a monster negate, Gravedigger as a monster negate that activates in hand or grave. So a lot of monster interaction, but again, you also have the Myrmilio to pop a back row if you kept it in the graveyards. What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with another fun little TCG deck profile. And today we have my 3 local top wins in a row Beetrooper deck. Not a very prestigious accolade, but it still did well nonetheless. Not a lot of actual good events to take it to. So for now, I'm very satisfied with the list and satisfied with how it's been performing. My only losses were to a brick once, and then I drew once, and then I lost to a weird Drytron board. I had the Droplet, but he ended on Vanity's Ruler with the Magic-y Ritual that searched the trap, which is a counter trap to negate a spell or trap. So I had to answer the Droplet, but he had a weird out to it. So if it was a normal Drytron board like Dragoon, Herald, I definitely would have won that game, but alas, we'd take those in stride. So overall, I went 10 wins, 2 losses, and a draw over 3 different locals. So that's pretty solid. And then this is a list that I used. So we have your starters. You have 3 Beetrooper Scout Buggy. This is essentially a tour guide for the deck. You normal summon it. You can summon another copy of itself from hand, field, or hand, deck, or graveyard. Resonant Insect, the best card in your deck, hands down. This card is like the Bug Ben 10. It is when it's not once per turn, either effect. When it's sent from field to grave, you add a level 5 or higher insect. When it's banished, you dump an insect from deck to grave, which will typically be your Gokipole. When Gokipole is sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can add a level 4 insect to your hand. Only level 4, not lower, not higher. Which in this case can be your Traptrix Myrmilio. I'm playing this as a tech card. You essentially have 5 of them, because if you open Resonance Insect and an Extender, you'll link it off for Armor Horn. This will search you Doomdozer. You'll banish this and the other Extender you use to make Armor Horn to summon the Doomdozer. This banished will dump Gokipole. Gokipole will search Myrmilio, and then Armor Horn will additional normal summon Myrmilio, which will search you your trap hole target. So you essentially have 5 Myrmilios. Resonance or Gokipole will get you to Myrmilio, which you can then be an Extender with the Armor Horn to get you an additional normal summon. So pretty cool. It just fortifies your going first board. Alternatively, you could play more going second cards instead of this in the trap hole. But for now, I like it. It performed pretty well. I was trying out Treacherous, but ultimately I didn't like Treacherous, so I put in Gravedigger's trap hole, but I'll get into that in a second. And then your other starters, 3 Sting the Poison. This is really good. This is a Stratos. You search any Battle Wasp monster, and then quick effect, tribute 1 other monster, and then it becomes infinite impermanence. So really cool. Deals with access code talker really well, because they can go summon access code. When the chain link resolves, you can go open game state, activate this effect, tribute an insect, negate the access code talker, and it goes back down to 23. And then pseudo starters, you're playing 3 Retaliating Sea. Of all the bug hand traps like Contact Sea, Kaiju's, Beetrooper Sting Lancer, this is the blowout card. It destroys Drytron. Whenever they activate the ritual spell for the first time, you chain this card to summon, and then they cannot perform the rest of the combo afterwards unless they hard opened Herald. This card just shuts them down, because the ritual will get banished after it resolves. So the only ritual summon they get is the one they have there, which will typically be Benton. If they make Predator Plant Verte Anaconda, they can't use the effect because it has to send a graveyard for cost, and you cannot activate the effect under the macro effect of Retaliating Sea. So they can't get to Herald, they can't get to Dragoon, and then if they have Beatrice, they can't send anything because it'll get banished. So this card is fantastic against them. I guess they can make like Masquerena, but that's just 1 interruption compared to what it could have been. So this card is definitely very good. And even if you don't have it as a hand trap, you can normal summon it. When it's sent from field to grave, you will search a Resonance Insect basically, or a Gokipole. So it's a pseudo starter in that sense. So that's why I like it. So 14 starters, typically 11, but you have the 3 Retaliating if you need it. Moving on to extenders, you have your 3 Beetrooper Scale Bomber. This card is just the Kagamusha Knight, but it's also a Ghost Ogre. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can quick effect tribute an insect to destroy that monster. Doesn't negate it, but if it's like IP, it answers it really well. If it's like Appaloosa, it answers it really well, because they go chain link 1 Appaloosa to negate something, you go chain link 2 Scale Bomber. Appaloosa is once per chain, so resolve backwards. This will destroy the Appaloosa. and then Appaloosa has to reduce her attack to negate something, and since she's no longer on the field, she won't be able to negate anything. So this card is really good against that. Beetrooper Scale Bomber. I only played 2, or Sting Lancer, sorry. I only played 2 because it's an extender only if you get hand trapped. You'll get hand trapped a lot, but typically my going first board will have one of these in hand, and I'll summon the other one off of the link 4 to search the counter trap. So I really only want 2. It's kind of a brick. You can't normal summon it, so like 2 is the perfect number I found. I've tried 3 and I ended up bricking on it too much. And then the one field spell, the Beetrooper formation. This is a reborn once per turn, every turn. You'll target a Beetrooper in your grave, summon it, and then you take damage equal to the attack. And then also once per turn, when an insect monster you control is destroyed by opponent's card, battle or card effect, you can summon a Beetrooper token. So that is kind of relevant. If they try to if you can't get to the link 4 or something and you only end on like this or the armor horn with the counter trap, and they try to beat over your monster before committing to their plays to turn off the counter trap since you need to control a Beetrooper, this will summon a Beetrooper token for you, which it will become another Beetrooper name essentially. Moving on to the Battle Wasp extenders, you have 3 Pin, 3 Twin Bow. I do not play Arbalest. I find that card to be a brick. You already have enough follow-up with this deck. You don't need to search the level 4 Debris Dragon normal summon. I just find that card is just too often dead in my hand. It's only good if I can get to Armor Horn first and then Armor Horn resummon that monster to use it as an extender in that case. But more often than not, Armor Horn is going to get interrupted. So like I don't want to just have that card sitting in my hand when I could wish it would just be a Twin Bow or another Pin. And I don't need to search it. I can just search these for additional extenders on the following turn when I bring back Sting with Seraphim Papillon. So I do not play Arbalest. I do not like that card. Just 3 of each of those. It's good enough. 2 Primitive Butterfly. This is literally just Super Quantum Red Layer. If you have both of them, you'll summon one, and then you can just discard the other with Inzektor Pico Felino, which is absolutely fine. This card is a really good extender. I don't play this deck like a mid-range deck. I don't play a bunch like 9 to 12 hand traps. I play 14 starters, 19 extenders, and then like 7 cards to help me go first or break boards. So I just figured like I want to perform my combo through as many things as I can. Set up a counter trap, set up the Sting Lancer in hand, get another search, and just grind out the game with my opponent. Because if they use 2 hand traps, that means they have less cards to use on their turn. And if I can still set up a counter trap and another interruption, that should be enough to get me there. It typically was over 14 games. 1 Aztecapede, 1 Doomdozer. This is like a baby dragon. This is like a BLS, I guess. You banish an insect, summon this. You banish 2 insects, summon this one. This is searchable off Goki Pole, so if you don't want to get the normal monster or you've already used the normal monster, you can get this one instead. Just another extender, good to open as well. And then Doomdozer, this is really great to grab off of Resonance because it'll also trigger Resonance's banish effect. So Doomdozer at 1, absolutely mandatory. I play the 2 Ready Fusion. I only play 2 of this. I don't play Multiplication of Ants. I tried Multiplication of Ants. I do not like it because the biggest problem with Multiplication of Ants is it's not an actual insect in the graveyard, which does make a difference. Like, it helped me one time push through an Ultimate Conductor Tyranno that flipped all my monsters face down because then I distributed Resonance, got 2 tokens, and triggered Resonance. So that was really good, but that's just not realistic. Like, that's not going to happen a lot. Like Multiplication of Ants is only like fantastic with Resonance, and even then it's like it gets me 2 monsters, but when I get to Armor Horn I only have Resonance in the graveyard, which if they interrupt my Armor Horn I can't like go Resonance special Doomdozer because there's only 1 monster in the graveyard. So Multiplication of Ants it's a good extender, but it not being an insect in the graveyard to use with Pico or Armor Horn or Doomdozer really matters, and I do not like it. Ready Fusion is a spell, but it summons Quaggar Hercules, which is an insect in the graveyard. I'm only playing 2 because I don't want to brick on multiples and just have them be dead in my hand. Because I already have a ton of other extenders that can also just be normal summoned. Like if I open 2 Pin, I can normal 1, special the other, and then that is Armor Horn right there. So that's why I'm playing like 3 of all the actual insect extenders, and then I cut down on these. So it's still definitely a very solid card. And then finally the 1 Killer Needle. Pseudo extender. It's only an extender with Goki Pole, but it fills enough of a role. Like if I don't want it in my hand, I can just discard it off Pico, shuffle it back off Pico, and then when I send Goki afterwards, I can then search this and special it. So it's fine. It's kind of a pseudo brick, but at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. And then finally, I have 1 talent, 1 call by. Weird ratios. I had an extra slot in the deck, and I was just like, I guess I'll just play a talent. When you draw it and you can resolve it, it's good. If you don't draw it, then it's just not a brick. I don't know. It's good going second too, so it's kind of a pseudo going second card. It's good going first. Like, I just don't want to max. I don't want to brick on it essentially. Like, I play 2 droplet because if you draw both, you can use one to send the other. It's fine. I just want to answer boards like Herald, Dragoon, or like just have it to negate an Appo or a Sure Egg. This card's just fantastic. I like it at 2. I would maybe bump it up to 3, but for now at 2 it's okay because I have a searchable kaiju. This is not really, it's an insect, but it doesn't fit a starter or extender role. It's just searchable disruption. I've found that you can get people one time with this. If you go summon resonance, make an extender, link off into Armor Horn, activate resonance, they typically won't negate it. And then you just grab kaiju like the Herald or the Dragoon. And then after game 1, you know they'll always negate the resonance because they don't want that to happen again. So you can get them with a game 1, and then games 2 and 3, you know for sure they will always negate the resonance, so that then you can use that to your advantage. So that's pretty cool. I've taken a lot of games just by searching the kaiju in game 1 if I'm going second. I think I won 2 die rolls out of the 14 games I played. So the fact that I went 10-0 is pretty I don't know, pretty outstanding, honestly. And then finally, you have the Gravedigger's Chapel and the Beetrooper Flying Sting, just your searchable disruptions. Opening this is fine. If you discard it off Pico, in the end phase, you can just reset it, and then on your opponent's turn, you'll have it for the negate. So the opening this is honestly not bad because you get an extra, it's just a free discard, basically. And then drawing this is fine as long as you can still combo, because like it's as if you just searched it with Myrmilio anyway, and you can just summon other monsters instead. But if you draw this and you can't combo, then it kind of feels bad. I mean, at least it's a trap card at the very end of the day. Like, the only card you really don't want to draw is the Killer Needle. Everything else has utility here or there. So that is the main deck. It is 40 cards exactly, 14 starters, 19 extenders, and 7 going first and second cards. A fake little Valkyrion field center that I have. It's kind of cool. I don't know where I got it. Gore's token. On to the extra 2 Pico, 2 Armor Horn. It is the combo variant of the deck. It's not the mid-range variant. I've never needed the 3rd Armor Horn. I've never needed the 3rd Pico. You can shuffle one back with the other. Sometimes you need to go, if you open like 3 or 4 extenders and no normal summon, you'll want to make Pico first to attach resonance to the other, to another insect you control, to then link into Armor Horn and trigger the resonance that you sent off Pico to then get normal summons, to grab Armor Horn, and then you can search like Myrmilio that way. So Pico, you want to use the first one sometimes, and then when you make the Armor Horn, you'll make a second Pico, shuffle back that first one. So you really don't need more than 2 Pico, I found. However, there is one flex spot in the extra deck that I don't know if I want. Like, you could play the 3rd Pico or the 3rd Armor Horn. So for now, 2 is fine. In 14 games, I haven't needed them. 1 Shinobi Insect Hagakuramino. You definitely want this card. It's an insect that you can make with any 2 monsters with different names as a link 2. So if you get nib tokened and you still have more extenders, then you can use that to make the link 2 insect bring back Armor Horn or something and trigger it that way. But if they're smart, they'll nib you at the very end of your combo, in which case you're kind of boned. You can't really do anything about it. Link 3 insect, you have the 1 Seraphim Papillion. This card is fantastic. You can summon back Sting on your opponent's turn, get a surge, have Sting as an interruption. You can summon back Myrmilio on your opponent's turn, which is another reason why I love Myrmilio, because it'll pop back row on the opponent's turn. If you like held this and dealt with a Tri-Brigade board, like you negated their normal summon, and then you like Sting Lancer to put back too many materials and they can't combo past that, then at the end phase you can bring back Myrmilio and pop a hard draw and revolt that they had or something like that, which is just like, it's just the end of the game if you pop a revolt. Or against like Virtual World, if they go Kowloon, set the trap, you can just summon back Myrmilio, pop the trap, and then they have to have the normal summon to be able to combo off, so that's really nice. So like, just having Myrmilio to bring back off of this to destroy back row is really crucial. 2 Beetrooper, Giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas. This card is a Towers, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It is also a Lone Fire Blossom, tribute an insect to summon a Beetrooper from the deck, or it can make itself 5,000 attack, and when it does that, it is no longer a Towers. It's only a Towers while its attack is 3,000 or less, so keep that in mind. But making itself 5k to beat over pesky Dragoons that have gotten their negate off or something is really nice. As for the non-bugs, we have Access, Unicorn, Phoenix, and Almirage. Sometimes you'll need to link off Resonance to get a search, and then you'll make Hagakuramino with the Almirage and another bug, and then you'll like banish, they'll search Doomdozer off the Resonance, and you'll get the search off when you banish it to summon Doomdozer. So you'll sometimes really need that if you are in if you're in a pinch. If it's like late game or if like early game you didn't open enough bugs, that is good play. And then Phoenix into Unicorn into access code. Got like turn 3, you'll have access code to kill your opponent. You'll just link off your Beetroopers to turn off the Guard Dragon lock. AK Guard Dragon, AK, they're locking you into insects while they're on the field. You'll turn. That's another reason you need Hagakure Amino. You can like link off like a buggy and the giant atlas into a link 2 that doesn't lock you into insects anymore. So that's a good another reason to play him. And then finally I have Quaggar for the Ready Fusion. I have Cicada King for the buggies, for the Beetrooper Scout buggies to overlay into. And then I have Borreload Savage Dragon. This maybe could just be a Zeus. But I really didn't go into Cicada King that much anyway to even miss Zeus. But like the goal with this is Sting is a level 2 tuner. Quaggar is level 6, you can make it with that, or Primitive Butterfly is a level 5, but it can once per turn increase all insects by 1 level. So you summon Primitive Butterfly, boost its level by 1, and then normal summon Sting. And then you can make a Borreload Savage later game-ish, or just like, sometimes I've ended on a board of like Borreload Savage, Beetrooper, Counter Trap, and Seraphim Papillion, and then Papillion, and like Armor Horn or something, and then Papillion can summon back. If you need a Beetrooper, can summon back Buggy, or can summon back like Sting to get a search, and then you'll have like Sting negate, Counter Trap negate, and Borreload Savage negate. So that's kind of cool. It's happened twice in like the 30-some games that I played. I don't know if that's like the flex spot. It's just kind of cool for now. Then moving on to side or extra deck options, you have or side deck options. Excuse me. I played 3 Joel. I liked it a lot. 3 Lancia, didn't play this as much, but against Tri Brigade, essentially it would come in. I played 2 Phantasme. I love Phantasme still. Fantastic card against Tri Brigade. You summon it into their, before they make Apo, you get a draw, and then you have it to beat over Apo and force the Revolt. And then 3 Contact C. I don't like this card. Honestly, I might just cut this card entirely. It's only good against Tri Brigade, and even then I'd rather just play like other cards like Chalice or something. It's just, it was good against Prank Kids, but Prank Kids sucks now. It's good against Dragon Link, so maybe I might want it for Dragon Link, but again, like Phantasme and just other generic cards are probably just enough. Like I really don't need this. I sided in a Kaiju package, which is really good. You can just Dark Hole. This is both a Dark Hole and an Extender in this deck because you give yourself an Insect, which is hilarious, and then you Rota for another Kaiju. So you already have the 1 Kaiju in the main deck, so 2 Kaiju Slumber, 3 Kaiju in the main deck. I think that ratio is perfectly fine. And then Feather Duster, Double Cyclone. I think this might be 16, maybe just cut the Contact C or just cut that entirely and put in something else. But these are just some cards that I was testing. Cyclone's fantastic, Feather Duster is fantastic. You can try Red Reboot, maybe Twin Twister. But I think Cyclone is fine for now, and you would prefer to keep your bugs in your hand to just extend through things. So moving on, I'm gonna do a quick combo. I'm gonna show off, I guess you've probably seen a lot of combos by now. I guess I'll just show off the Myrmilio combo, or how to get to it when you don't straight up open it. So say you open Resonance and an Extender, you'll go normal summon Resonance, special summon Pin, don't forget to burn them for 200. You'll link both of these into an Armor Horn, and then you'll trigger the Resonance. Resonance will search you Doomdozer, and then Doomdozer will banish the Resonance and the Pin. You'll trigger Resonance, you'll dump Goki Pole to the graveyard, and then Goki Pole to the graveyard, and then Goki Pole will trigger Search You Traptrix Myrmilio, because it searches a level 4 insect, which is Traptrix Myrmilio, and then Armor Horn, additional normal summon Myrmilio, grab Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So 2 cards, you get this. You'll link these off for the Pico Felina, and then yada yada yada. Pico Felina will discard a bug, equip another Resonance to deck to your Armor Horn, from deck to your Armor Horn. You can Pico, shuffle back these 3 if you want, depending what else you have in your hand. You can link these off for the link 4, and then Resonance will trigger since it was sent from field to grave, even while an equip card, which is busted. Search you probably a Sting Lancer here. I don't really know. Depends what you have in your hand. If you have another Extender, great. If not, you could have like shuffled back the Doomdozer with the Pico and then search this again. So that's an option. Or you can just search Sting Lancer as an interruption for the next turn, depending how many Extenders you already have in your hand. And then you have Armor Horn to summon back by banishing 3 insects, trigger Resonance again, dump something like Sting, make a Seraphim Papillion to then summon back the Sting, or you still have the Myrmilio in the graveyard maybe to summon. So it'll vary, options will vary from there depending what the rest of your hand is, but that's just a simple combo to use with Myrmilio. And now you'll get to Sting by tributing an insect with, this is still in your hand, but you'll get to your other Sting by tributing insect with Beetle, search the Beetrooper counter trap, and then you'll have like Papillion to summon as a monster negate, Beetrooper Flying Sting as a monster negate, Gravedigger as a monster negate that activates in hand or grave. So a lot of monster interaction, but again, you also have the Myrmilio to pop a back row if you kept it in the graveyard. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Been really enjoying this deck in the TCG. Yeah, let me know what you guys are looking forward to in the new Burst of Destiny set. I know I'm looking forward to the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and potential support for this deck. I was thinking, and this deck would be really cool if it had ways to recycle banished or insects that are in the graveyard, something like that, to the deck, or have ways to pop monsters or to pop back row. So I was thinking like something like Dragoonity Legatus, like an extender like that, something, a bug that could summon itself by shuffling a banished insect that was in, or an insect that's in your graveyard into the deck to summon itself, and then it can like destroy back row. That would be really cool. That would be a way to both deal with back row and extend and shuffle back all your insects. So that'd be like really, really cool. I mean, that's kind of like wishful thinking, but that was just an idea I came up with. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.